fam. Today, Jamil and I are doing a Subway mukbang.
Yes.
And you guys, you won't believe what just happened to us. It's literally just a wild story. I'm actually very, very upset.
Yeah.
I think Jamil's a little upset too.
100%. Yeah. It's regarding our trip, you guys. We definitely gotta break some stuff down, tell you some do's and don'ts.
Yep.
What hotels to stay at and what hotels not to.
Yeah, we're very, very upset, as you can see in the title. So, yeah. But we are hungry.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and start eating. It's been a while since we've had Subway.
It has been.
And then we'll dive into the information and let you guys know what happened.
Exactly.
We need your advice as well. So.
For sure.
Okay.
So we haven't been to Subway in a while. It's been months, I think, right? We haven't been in a long time. So they have quite a few different new sandwiches. This new sandwich right here, I actually don't know the name of. Kristen does because she ordered it. I did say I wanted it, but I don't know what
I think yours is the Outlaw.
Oh, okay. It's the Outlaw.
Yeah.
There's meat and lettuce and other things. Okay, there's beef, steak, lettuce, onions, jalapenos. Hold on. And cheese. Is there cheese in here?
Pepper jack cheese.
Pepper jack cheese.
Baja sauce.
Baja sauce.
Yeah. All
and
the
sriracha.
Yeah,
That's what it
and
is.
sriracha. Yep.
You guys, you would think I would know what's on my sandwich, but I don't. It's pretty bad.
I kind of ordered it for him.
Well,
with his permission.
You asked me what I wanted on it, too. But I forgot.
I actually have a very similar sandwich. I have steak, but bacon. And then I got pepper jack cheese on it. Lettuce, bell peppers, pickles, olives, and banana peppers. But I don't see any pickle. Oh, I do have pickles. Okay. They made it a little weak.
They did.
And the Baja sauce.
They did a little bit. We also got some spicy Dorito chips right here and some Cheetos, some water. And let's talk about this, you guys. Let's talk about this. Do you mind if I go in on it?
Honestly, I would love for you to.
Okay.
Because I'm very mad.
Yeah.
And, I feel like you're always good at, like...
Getting it started?
Yeah, getting it started and not being as upset. So, I think that's good. If you feel like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have something you want to say, just tell me. Interrupt me.
Oh, I probably will.
So, so you guys know, during our trip, when we go out to California, we actually do a mixture of like staying at friends and family's house, but we also stay at hotels. You know, we have one hotel in particular that we go to that we really like a lot. And, since we've been going there, we've never had any issues with it whatsoever. No problems. It's been actually pretty great. But I feel like just recently over the last year, there's just been little small things. Like the customer service isn't quite where it's at. And I don't want to say it's going downhill. It just doesn't seem like it's as good. Right? Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, I would say this last time staying at the hotel we stayed in was definitely the worst experience we've had. And we definitely go to this one all the time. So we had, just to back up a little bit, the reason we go to the hotel, well, Jill and I do like hotels, but obviously they can be expensive, as you guys know. But we have a lot of points. We're part of a Marriott credit card. So we get a ton of points that we can actually redeem for free stays. So that's really good. So anyways, so that's why we like to use that.
But what we do is we still spend our own money for multiple days. But it's nice because we get a discount in that sense because we get a day or two for free. You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand, but this stay...
Yeah. We did get a lot more free stays.
No, we use like the majority of different points from different credit cards.
Yeah.
But we still use the majority of points on this one. In the past, we don't always have all the points to cover all the days, but
But this one.
still, big discount usually. This time we did though.
So anyways, I think the stay itself, it wasn't terrible. As far as like the room itself goes, the room was fine. We were put in a room the first night, which we checked in really late at nighttime. And when we got there, we almost were stuck in this room all night. Luckily, the person in front actually was nice and helped us out. But the AC wasn't working. And it was hot. I have no idea why, you guys. But that day was so hot.
Well, we went to California during like a hot period.
I guess so.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so anyways, AC wasn't working. It happens, but that is a little frustrating because.
Yeah.
you know, you have to move rooms and stuff like that. But the lady was very nice.
Very nice, and changed us, put us in another room with no issues at all, which was also really nice.
Yeah.
The thing was weird is that this one particular room hadn't been upgraded with the AC, which was weird. Because all the other ones have the AC unit on the wall where you can kind of, you know, adjust the temperature and stuff. This one you had to actually go to the AC unit and press up and down. So I don't know what was up with that. So
yeah, that was weird.
Anyway, so we went to another room, so that was fine. But really where our problems come in, you guys, is at the front office.
Yeah. Front desk.
Front desk.
Uh-huh.
So we checked in one day. And because of the points, what we were doing is we had to check in one day, check out the next, and then come back and check in again. That way we were able to, you know, we had to check in and check out the same day sometimes so we can use, you know, get the free stay, if that makes sense.
On different reservations. He has a credit card in his name. I have a credit card in my name. So yeah, we had to do different reservations.
Which,
so
it's not a problem typically.
No, we've done it before. But as soon as I got to the front desk this time, there were new people. So, you know, sometimes we'll recognize the people. Because we go back to this hotel every few months, right? When we visit Cali. Anyways, only people, I didn't recognize anybody. And the guy, I forgot the whole story because this is like now 2 or 3 weeks ago. But basically the guy was like, oh, yeah, the guy at the front basically was like, oh, that's what it was. I had a $250 gift card from Marriott that I could redeem. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to redeem it. So basically, he didn't know how to redeem it, which is fine. He was new. So basically, he had to get his coworker, or I think it was the manager, I'm not 100% sure, to redeem it because there was some process, right? So he's like, hey, can you redeem the gift card, you know, da-da-da. So his coworker's like, yeah. So they did a little swap-a-roo. So then the guy who had me went to this other customer. And then literally 2 minutes later with the other customer, he's like, hey, I need your help. I can't do this thing. He's like, can you do it? And then the guy's like, well, I'm with this customer now because you made me switch in the first place.
Yeah.
Because he's not what he said. You know, but he's like, I'm helping her with her gift card, but as soon as I'm done, I'll help you. So clearly, homeboy who first had me did not know what he was doing. That's clear, you know?
Yep.
He's new.
Which still isn't the problem, you guys.
That's not the problem.
That's perfectly fine. All those things are fine. Now, one thing that was interesting, though, that plays a part a little later in this story, is the card reader was down. Something was down with it, right? He tried to put it in because, you know, of course, when you do stay at hotels, they want you to use a credit card for incidentals and actually take some money off of your card and stuff. Perfectly fine. But for some reason, it was down, right?
It was down this time.
Yep.
And the guy's like, oh, and this is the same guy, by the way. Because somehow he came back. I don't know what happened, but the guy originally didn't know what he was doing. He's like, oh, yeah, the card reader's down. Da-da-da. He's like, I'm rebooting the system. I'm like, okay. So kind of waited. And he's like, oh, it's still not working. And then eventually, basically, I never put my card in.
Yeah.
For that.
For the incidentals.
For that situation. However, I believe my card was on file because I had booked the hotel through the points of that Marriott credit card. You know, so anyways, but I never put it in, you know?
Yeah.
At check-in.
Yeah.
Okay, so that happened. And I thought it was weird that I didn't have to put in a card for incidentals because you always have to. And he never said, don't worry about it. He was just like, here's your room key. You know, I was like, oh. And I didn't want to. I was like, okay, well, clearly you don't care if I...
Exactly.
Whatever. So it was fine.
So...
But it was sketch. Yeah.
It really was. So we went about our trip, you know, based off of that. Checked in. Or sorry, that check-in went great. Everything was fine, at least with that part. Then, you know, of course, the next day, or I think it was 2 days later, I had to check in with my card. So we did that, and I used my card and everything. And I think we did it one more time with your card as well, checking in again. Anyways, long story short, it seemed like everything was fine. Everything was okay. We had no problems. You know, we checked out every time we checked out, and even up to the last day when we left. No issues at all.
Yeah.
Until we got home. And this is where the drama started.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, just like one day, there's a charge on your card, right? Is that what it was?
Yep, from that hotel.
From the hotel.
Of $356 and some change.
Yeah.
Again, everything was already paid through points for free. Or there was one incident where we did go through Expedia to pay for the room, but I had used some other points on a credit card to reimburse myself for for that cost, right? So everything was supposed to either be prepaid or free, but totally taken care of. So when we checked out, we were not supposed to get any charges on the credit card. So lo and behold, our shock, when $356 and some change was taken out.
Yep.
So I was really upset about it just because, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I knew, and then, when you know something's wrong, that clearly they don't really know, there's not a good training going on. They don't know what they're doing. So I think I was more upset about that too, because I did feel like things were off when we were checking in. It wasn't like a smooth experience like the other times. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you know what I realized? I jumped ahead because that's right. This actually added to our frustration. I think one of the days when we were either checking, I think we were checking out. We dealt with that guy again, who was checking you in.
Yep.
And Kristen went in the first time to check in. I wasn't there, but the second time when we were dealing with this, I was there. So I was actually talking to the guy, and he just seemed a little cold, if that makes sense. Like he didn't really want to be there.
I promise you, this guy does not care.
Yeah.
About his job, and you can tell he's I had to go to the front for a lot of things. He'd be gone, and then bathroom break or something. I'm assuming. Right. Come back. He just walked like he didn't care. You could just tell when people don't want to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I actually talked to him on one of the shifts. He's like, a few more minutes left, which is fine. We all want to leave on the shift. That's not a big deal. But you can just tell he's not trying to, I think, improve any customer's experience in any way. No, he was not. I don't think he's really trying to learn that much. I think he's just trying to do the motions. Those types of people. Yeah. That's fine. But just to give you a little bit of background on this guy. And he cuts you off. He cut me off a lot. Oh, yeah. And I hate that. Yeah, I'm trying to explain something. He would interrupt me. He'd be really short, and he'd be just da-da-da, da-da-da, And I just don't like that. I just let me finish my sentence, and then you can respond. That's fine. So I was a little bit triggered by this guy. Okay.
So, fast forward to this charge. Looked kind of weird. We're trying to figure out why. So, at the time, I know you were a little irritated, but you weren't that mad. So you called. So we called and everything. And I guess the person we talked to, I won't name the name, but we talked to a guy.
But before that, the guy who I'm complaining about, the guy who doesn't want to be there, he answered the phone. I recognize his voice. There's only a few people in the daytime shift, I know it was him. He answers the phone, and I tell him what happened. I'm like, hey, we just stayed at your facility, your hotel, and we got charged this, this amount, but everything was supposed to be prepaid. He was like, okay, what's your name? But he didn't care. He didn't say, oh, I'm so sorry. It was just what's your name? When did you stay here? I said it. And then he goes, I don't know how to help. He literally said, I don't know how to help you. Let me get my supervisor. I don't know. I promise you, I don't know how to help you. Which, again, it's just wording. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Then the manager gets on. And pretty much he's took down Kristen's all of her information, and Kristen told him the whole story, kind of everything that was going down, and the guy was listening. And actually, I talked to the guy one day too while we were there. Once again, we were going to the front a lot, you guys, so we it was almost like we lived at the front, I feel like. No, but we talked to him a good amount, right?
For the check-ins and the check-outs, things like that.
So this guy was really cool and very helpful.
Yeah,
I really liked him a lot. So you were talking to him. He gave all the information.
I gave him all the information.
Yes, and then he's like, "Don't worry, just check in a day or two, and your charge should be back on your card."
No, he's like, So basically, at first he's talking about this and that, da da da. But I guess I didn't explain it well until I told him, "Hey, I was double charged. I had prepaid this stay, and I have proof. It's on my credit card as a prepay from a month ago. But I just got charged, this amount." Once I said that, then he was kind of like, oh, okay. And then all he says is, I see what happened. Okay, so in 3 to 5, 7 business days, the money will be back on your account. I was like, okay, well, is there proof? Are you going to send me something? He's like, we'll send you an email for verification that, that we did that, that we refunded your money. He's like, my name is so-and-so, trying to make me reassure, my name is so-so, be happy to help you. I'm like, okay. I was like, fine. Again, he was kind of fast with me and a little bit short as well when he figured out what happened. He didn't really explain why I was double charged, but he did say, I know what's going on. I'll refund that amount. Cool. So that's all I really needed.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay. I hang up. telling you, I felt weird. I just was like, I don't know. Like, all I know is his name.
Yep.
I was waiting for an email confirmation that something had been done. Nothing happened. This was like over a week ago.
Yep.
And I'm waiting day 1, day 2, day 3. The charge is still there on the credit card.
Meanwhile, Kristens Mad. I'm like, it's fine. We're going to get the money back.
He's like, banks take time.
If they don't give it back to us, corporate will. Because we'll go there. Someone's giving us our money back.
Sure, and he's reassured. And I know that's, true.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get it back at some point. But I'm waiting, and then basically the next week happens. Nothing had happened. I did not get an email. And I was charged another $50 from the hotel for a different situation, like for 5 days later when we were staying there again.
Yeah.
But it was for a different, like, it was $50 and some change. It didn't make any sense that I wasn't supposed to be charged anything, but it was. So I have 2 charges now.
So just imagine you're trying to get your money back from a hotel.
Yeah.
And not only do you not get it back, they charge you more.
What?
That's what happened to us pretty much.
Yeah.
So they charged another $50 on the car.
So,
and of course, Kristen at that point is happy. She's like, oh, good. I'm glad they got their money and everything's fine now.
over $400 charged on the credit card when it's not supposed to. 2 different transactions. This has never happened. Was I mad? Was I PO'd?
A little bit.
So mad. So but I'm also more mad because you know how this is, you guys. We've all been. It takes so much time out of your day to have to call, to be put on hold, to explain everything, to go to another person, explain it. Like, it just is a very inconvenient, but whatever. Like, things happen. Anyways, I called. I called when I realized that the credit card refund was not going through for whatever reason. And I wanted to see what was up. But the guy had told me his name and the supervisor. So I'm like, okay, great. I'll just talk to him. Check in with him, right? He must know what's going on. I called the hotel.
So just to be clear, you called back to the hotel to speak to that manager that said he was going to help you the first time.
Correct.
Okay.
And I had his name. Yeah.
And his name.
So I called the hotel. Homeboy, the one who doesn't want to be there, answers the phone. I recognize his voice.
Yep.
And I said, hey, can I speak to so-and-so, who's the manager? He goes, oh, so-and-so no longer works here. This is literally less than a week in between. I promise you I was not surprised at all that so-and-so didn't work there anymore.
He either quit or got fired, pretty much.
100%.
And it was probably that same day. And
It probably was.
And he probably said, you know what? I'll just tell everybody no problem, when it comes to issues, because I'm leaving.
So I said, hey, I need to speak to your supervisor or manager. Homeboy goes, I can help you. I'm like, well, I want to speak to, so-and-so because I have this charge on my credit card. I was supposed to, so-and-so was supposed to help me and refund it. He didn't. He's like, I'll help you. Just short with me. Like, I'll help. Like, refuse to give me a freaking manager.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I give him my name. I remind him that we've talked many times. Like, we had a whole interaction during, while we were hanging out because he had gone to a high school in our local area. So he knew who I was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're the one who went to so-and-so high school. He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, we talked. And so I kind of, he didn't care.
Yeah.
At all. He didn't care about our conversations. But whatever. I just wanted him to know that who I was, right?
Yep.
He looks on the thing and he goes, okay, what's your name? What day was it? How much did you charge? And he's like, okay, I will take care of it. I'm like, I'll take care of it. I promise you this one, I'll take care of it. I said, what did I say? Okay, I was very triggered. I said, I'll take care of it. That's all I said. I'm like, okay, well, can you please give me a call back and let me know when you refund it so I have confirmation that it's refunded?
Yeah.
He goes, oh, we do all of our communication via email. I want to be like, homie, you're talking to me on the phone right now, and I dealt with this for a long time. Like, he asked for my phone number, by the way. First, he was like, "What's your name? What's your phone number?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "What's your email?" Like later, he's like, "See, we do all communication via email. What's your email?" But I'm like, "Don't ask for my phone number." Then I was so mad.
Well, and on top of that too,
Pissed.
right? The guy, the previous manager said that they handle everything by email. You'll get a confirmation email saying that the money would go back on the card, and you never got the email or the money back.
Nope.
So clearly, it makes sense. It's like,
I don't trust you that you're going to email me.
You're going to send an email over.
He's like, well, send it via email. I'm like, when are you going to do it? So I had to be like, when are you going to do it? Are you going to do it today? Are you going to do it tomorrow? He's like, I'll try to do it today, if not tomorrow. Something like that. I hang up the phone. I'm like, okay, fine. I hang up the phone. I'm livid. And babe, I really, I was so mad.
You're upset.
I was so mad. I told you why I was mad. Jamil's really sweet at like keeping me calm, but
Yeah.
I just felt like I was going through the ringer. People weren't. Oh, by the way, he was cutting me off. I think I told you that.
Yeah, that's what your problem was with him. Is he was cutting you off.
He was cutting me off again.
You.
He wasn't listening. He said he refused to give me a freaking supervisor
Yeah.
or manager. I was very mad. So I'm like very frustrated with Jamil because not with you, but like I'm frustrated talking to you about it. I just feel I was like, and actually, I said this and I meant it. I was like, I need you, like as I need a man and as my husband to call and yell at somebody. Like that's what I needed. I was so like insulted with how they talked to me.
Yes.
That I needed like my other half to like defend. I really wanted that.
Exactly.
I just was feeling like this rage that I wanted you to like muscle up, like verbally, and be like, "This isn't cool how you're like treating my wife." Like I really did feel that way.
So I did. So I picked up the phone and I called back and I didn't say my name and I just started cussing him out.
So I was like, "Of course I can call for you."
Yeah.
I told him
Well, can I say this too? I had to, if you don't mind me saying too, because you were definitely like really upset. I had to explain. I'm like, you can't be mad. Like you can't like yell at someone because you're not going to get stuff. Like even if customer service does wrong stuff, you can't like yell at them because they're the ones that are getting you to what you need. You know what I mean? Like if they make mistakes, which they do, you still have to try to be professional with them because you got to get what you need. And
I want to make it clear, I never yelled or gave attitude.
Yeah.
I just wanted him to.
You wanted me to?
Yeah.
Don't throw me under the bus.
I did. I'm not gonna lie, I did.
That's fine. So anyway, eventually I was like, all right, I'll call. Because you wanted me to. What you were saying is just call back because I don't trust the guy. I don't think he actually did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And pretty much he didn't because I called back. And the funny thing is, at first I called back. And I didn't fully tell you this. I call back. I'm wait maybe like, 3-4 minutes. All of a sudden, I hear the phone pick up because I was on hold. Phone pick up. And I hear like, I couldn't hear exactly what was said, but it was the guy's voice. And then he hung up.
You did not tell me that.
I didn't tell you that. I told you it hung because you would have really been really mad. I did say that we got disconnected, but I didn't say that the guy said something, not to me on the phone. He said something out loud, and it was a pick up and hang up, by the way. It wasn't like clicking the wrong, button and things like that. It was a pick up, and bam, hung up. I could hear it clearly. So I called back again.
I'm really glad you didn't.
Because I knew you were upset.
I'm so triggered by that.
So I called back again. And this time another manager picked up.
Like it was a lady.
It was a lady manager.
We found out she was a manager.
Yes. The moment I started explaining what was going on, she instantly knew what this was about. Instantly knew. I'm telling her.
Sorry, to rewind, because the guy who we initially talked to, who doesn't like his job and doesn't know what he's doing, he obviously gave the info to the supervisor to take care of it.
Yes.
Because he didn't know how to do it.
Yes.
But then let me talk to the manager in the first place, but that's okay. We can keep going.
It is funny. The dude did say like the very first time we talked to him about this, he's like, I don't know how to handle this. Let me give you to my manager.
Yeah, and clearly you did. Whatever.
So, long story short, obviously we're going a long time with this. The guy pretty much, he had to hand it off to the manager. The manager was going to handle it tomorrow or the next day or something like that.
But it's in my pile of work.
Yes. So what we wanted to do, because, we've been calling back a lot, what we wanted to do this time was say like, hey, look, just tell us what the charge is for. We want to understand why is there the $300+ charge and the $50 charge. So I asked her like, hey, look, take a second out of your day, please. If you have a second, and just take a look and just tell me what the charge is for. Because we had no idea what we were double charged for. Like, think about this. Like, yes, we knew that we got charged for the hotel room, but why would we have been charged if we had paid for it through Expedia? It doesn't make any sense. The record should have showed that it was paid through Expedia.
Correct. And the Expedia price was different than the credit card charge.
Yes, that's right.
So they weren't the same price.
They weren't the same price.
Similar, but not the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we wanted to understand that. And she was like, okay, I completely understand. I'll look into it and figure out why. So long story short, it went back to day one. What happened was when the card reader didn't work for that guy, what he did was he just decided to take the credit card on file and just charge it the whole room. I don't know why he did that, but that's what he did. You know? Yeah. So he just charged us the whole time, the whole room. And then right then and there, she was like, I'm going to handle this right now, just refund you. And she literally, just like that, put the refund in. You know what I mean?
Allegedly. We still haven't seen it yet. But we believe her, though.
Yeah, I believe her. She was very, very, very good. So she said it would be like, you know, 3 to 5 business days.
Yeah.
So we're still waiting.
But she said she did it right then and there, which that's what you want to hear. Like,
exactly.
I just refunded you.
Yeah.
And just wait, no wait. But the first guy who I talked to, the manager who didn't work there anymore, he never said, I just refunded you.
Exactly.
Like, I'll take care of it.
So then, secondly, the $50 one, I was like, well, what's up with this random $50 charge too? You know, we're trying to figure out what that was from. She couldn't find it on her records. She doesn't understand what happened with that fee, but what she did say is that it did look like it had been refunded from her end, although I don't know how, because she said she couldn't find it.
It's not refunded.
So I don't know what happened.
I know what happened. She said, I don't see a charge.
Yeah.
But then she said,
right.
I do see some room tax thing for $45.
That's what it was.
And she said, normally, though, that's supposed to be refunded back, after the incident, after your incidental fee is cleared.
Yeah.
Which my incidental fee was cleared. My $75 for an incident was cleared. But I was somehow still charged $50 and some change.
Yep.
But on her records, it still didn't really show that I was charged it exactly, if that makes sense. So she actually doesn't know what the $50 she was guessing could be the room charge, but that was supposed to be cleared. It's not. And so basically, I think they took my credit. I think they took my credit card information.
Yeah, and they just started ringing stuff up.
Somebody might have paid for something in the front desk of who knows, candy or something, or food or drinks, and my credit card was there because I have a feeling they're not wiping things clear.
Yeah.
Somebody took my credit card and paid $50. Now, my only thing is they don't have on their end any charge. Really. So it's kind of like I can dispute it, I think, through my credit card or my bank. Yeah. But you guys, I just don't know if I want. I mean, trust me, I'm mad about the $50, but it's such a hassle. I don't even know if I want to anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, we're going to dispute it. We definitely going to dispute it. We'll figure that out.
I'm not. I can't.
So then.
Sorry. If you want to do it for me, I would appreciate that.
So then 2 days later, $1,000 charge. They charge us $1,000. That's no, but then pretty much, this is still kind of in progress. No. So we're still trying to figure out what's going on. We wanted to vent and talk to you guys about it because we thought it was a kind of interesting story. Yeah. Definitely let us know if this is something you've ever experienced because we've never had anything this odd like that before.
Yeah, we have not. So should I just do the credit card and say, hey, there's a charge that the hotel gave me? They don't even know what the charge is for, but I'm not supposed to be charged that. Should I just do that?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I'm asking the fam.
Well, you guys tell her too. But of course we're going to do that.
Do you think we should?
I'm going to do that, yes. If you don't call, I'm calling. Okay. One of us is calling. We're getting our money back. But yes, if you guys want to answer as well, definitely answer. But we're definitely going to do that,
Or do you guys have another idea? Totally open to that too. So,
I do want to say, because I think this is a lesson too, for sure, you guys, if you do ever have a situation where things like this do happen, a bad experience, I still wouldn't take it out on the people, as far as yelling or frustration. Now, that one dude probably deserved it. You know what I mean? Definitely deserved it.
He does a little bit.
But even with that, he definitely does. Even with that, you need these people to get to where you need to go. You know what I mean? So if you yell at them, they get mad enough, then maybe they just don't help you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, so I think it's good. And I told the lady at the end as I hung up, I was like, hey, we've been here a lot. She was like, I know, I can see that you guys come here all the time. And she was like, so I'm really sorry about that. We just appreciate you guys. So, and she was very nice, and I told her I really appreciated her help and stuff too. So.
Yeah, she was helpful.
She was very helpful. But yeah, you guys, it was crazy. I don't know. Maybe what we'll do in the future is maybe we'll get a debit card from CVS or Walgreens or something. Put some cash on it and just use that. That way, if they accidentally charge us stuff, at least it's, on that instead of our credit cards. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
Man!
So that's what happened. So they did steal our money. Yeah. But we got refunded most of it, except for this $50 that we're still figuring out. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, things happen. but I just don't like the dismissal of what I'm saying and then interrupting me. I really don't like that.
I know. It's Kristen's favorite thing.
It's just so rude.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and put the hotel in the comments sections below or the description. So if you'd like to stay there, you'd like to give them your credit cards because they love to run it up.
As you know, we did not say the name of the hotel.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
And we won't.
Yeah. So. We don't want to bust them out.
No, we won't. Yeah.
But don't stay there.
They just have to train people better, that's all.
That's true.
But anyways, I do appreciate you calling for me and talking to somebody, so thank you so much.
And I appreciate you at least hearing what I had to say about not getting mad.
No, you made a very good point. You're right. I was so enraged. I was like, I need my husband to get mad for me.
Start yelling. Listen, you mother. Just start going off on them. Be like, I want $500, a free stay. I want some cookies. You could start demanding that stuff. Some cookies, because by the way, the cookies that they have in the front are amazing. They have cookies in the front there. They're phenomenal. Lemon cookies. Want the lemon cookies with the chocolate chips? Give me all of that. They also have coffee too in the front. Want a cup of coffee? Ready for me? Exactly.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for listening to our rant and our story. Yes. We appreciate you. We love you so much. Hope you enjoyed this video today. And we'll see you tomorrow for another one.
We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Peace out, trouts.